All right, it's a beautiful Tuesday morning and it's time to talk sports on TVC Breakfast. Of course, we begin with the biggest game of the Champions League semi-final parents coming up later tonight. The La Liga champions-elect Real Madrid meet the Premier League holders Manchester City in the last four of the season's Champions League. This is the first leg and will take place at the Etihad Stadium on Tuesday night. Pep Guardiola's men needed just one goal to scrap past Atletico Madrid in the quarterfinals, while Real ended Chelsea's hopes of back-to-back European crowns in dramatic fashion. Well, Brownson Awana joins me live now to do a review of this game later tonight. Well, Brownson, it's going to be a mouth-watering fixture. What's your thoughts on this game, Manchester City versus Real Madrid?
I must say that it's going to be a classic game. It's as good as the final. It's Clash of the Titans. And the fixture is like that not because Manchester City has a very good Champions League experience. But if you look at Manchester City pedigree, the quality of player they have, the pedigree of the coach, they seem to have the very best of bench. And it looks like the Manchester curse is on them because as it is now, they are still unable with the quality and money they've spent. They are still yet to, get themselves to win the Champions League. And then on the flip side, you look at Real Madrid, who showed a very good class against Chelsea. Even though a lot of people also criticize the fact that Chelsea are in crisis right now. And also look at the fact that they've won the most Champions League. I mean, it's a very big game. So in this kind of game, it's not about form. It's about experience, especially from the bench, which I think Carlo Ancelotti might have an edge. Sometimes I wish I could just wind the clock to 8 p.m. when the game would take off. But I must tell you, it's going to be a very crunchy clash tonight.
And no doubt, football and fans all around the world, no doubt, are looking forward to this game. Well, these must be very, very desperate times for Manchester City in this championship. You remember very clearly that this does appear to be the holy grail for Manchester City. They do have some defensive issues at the moment. Is there a sense in which you think that might put some sort of pressure on the City side, Pep Guardiola and the players?
I mean, if you look at the way Manchester City play, Manchester City is the only team right now in Europe that can play a defender, a midfielder as a defender, because their strength is really not in their defense, but the midfield and the attack. Manchester City would rather come at you. I mean, they are the best example of the best form of defense is attack. They'll come at you. They are not very used to sitting back. For instance, the last Premier League game, the goalkeeper barely touched the ball. That doesn't tell you the kind of football they play. Again, if you play against a Real Madrid side who has a very strong midfield that can match their midfield for me, but if it comes to passing of the ball, maybe Manchester City might have the edge. But in terms of physicality, strength, creativity, you have to give it to Real Madrid because they have strong guys that are very strong. City doesn't thrive with a team that plays physical football. It might be a big disadvantage to them today. Now, in terms of passing the ball, Real Madrid are not very pacey. So if City get the English football very well, long balls, run at them from the flanks, take over the midfield, which I think it might be difficult, they might get an edge over this. But in terms of defense, tonight, I think City may have to work because, with a Benzema who has been scoring for fun in recent times, it will be a very difficult game for them from the back.
And, well, the Real Madrid side, if you look at the composition, some might say is an aging side. We look at Modric, Toni Kroos and the rest of them and all of that, Benzema. But it does appear like they are getting even better with age. We saw what individual qualities of Modric and Benzema did in the game against Chelsea. Do you see them bringing this as well? You talked about experience earlier. Do you see these individual qualities coming up again in the game against City?
Yes, I can point before I answer that. Let's take you back to 2006, where AC Milan won the Champions League. There was a lot of criticism about that team. They said the minimum, I think the minimum ages at that time in that squad was 31. You have a midfield that was field of 35, 34. I think, what this guy Inzaghi then was, was almost weighing out. But you come to Inter Milan when Jose Mourinho won his Champions League with that squad. There were lots of criticism about the midfield and the quality of player Mourinho had then with Inter Milan. These were relatively aging players. So the difference about aging players and young players is they understand game management. In their right, they can pass as a coach at their age because they played a couple of football. If you look at Real Madrid squad right now, we have the same repeat. It's like a pattern for most teams that have won the Champions League. We have guys that are very experienced in that squad. Again, you look at Manchester City, these guys are hungry. They just want to win. So sometimes game management may not be their priority. They want to come out. And these experienced guys will make 1 or 2 runs and break you, get the goals, and then in Nigeria we'll say lock shop. So it's going to be a very tricky one for them. I think Real Madrid, something is saying that their experience might come to play. I mean, they've got a very experienced coach who has won the Champions League more than Pep Guardiola. They have players who has won Champions League more than Manchester City. So it doesn't matter how City play tonight. Experience just might be the X factor in tonight's game.
Well, you cannot do away with experience anyway. That's very key in every aspect. But if Manchester City want to get a result out of this game, a very good result, going to the second leg, what is the approach that you recommend?
So, if you look at Real Madrid play, I mean, they're very strong in the midfield. Midfield, in terms of Man City, also very good in midfield, especially passing of the ball. That may not work with Manchester City. For me, I'll change my style to the way Liverpool play. Liverpool, if they can't get you in the midfield, they go through the flanks. And if you look at these aging players, I mean, their endurance level is dropping by the day. So if I'm the coach of the side, I'm going to play flank football, pacey football, throw long balls, get those guys to run for at least the first 30 minutes of the game. And then when they start weighing out, to take over the midfield and launch them in the attack. But for me, if they want to play attacking football and pass the ball through the midfield, Madrid may not be that kind of team for them. So if I'm the coach, I'm going to go through the flanks, get those guys to run. By the time they are wear out, wear and tear, you can't take that out. Then you hit them, break them, get the goal. But I think in over 2 legs, if Man City get their acts right, play pacey football, just leave the midfield, leave the regular football you play and play something different tonight. I think over 2 legs, they should be able to get this one.
All right, Brownson Awana, always interesting having you talk sports with us on TVC Breakfast. Many thanks indeed for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very much for having me.